Hey, my Legion. A few hours back on Sundance, uh, I was on the computer. My dad was watching TV, and on came A Clockwork Orange. And I remember hearing the music, and then it was like, man, that sounds familiar. And I turned around to Clockwork Orange, so it sucked me back in. I watched it. I haven't watched it in a while, and the movie still holds up, like it held up the last time I saw it. So I wanted to do my little homage to Clockwork Orange in my own way. Also, that and I Can't Sleep. Because it's such an iconic movie, and it's still as important today as it was when it was made a while back, and still as controversial today as it was when it was originally made. Now, a fellow YouTuber and subscriber and friend named Bunson's did a review of Clockwork Orange a couple of months back, and that's really the quintessential review. She covers the book and the movie. I'm just going to do a couple fun facts about the movie, but you should definitely check out her review. It's really good. And basically, oh, there's so much information about the movie. I'm just going to list a couple of fun facts. I took a little bit of notes, and there's hundreds of fun facts, but just a couple things are of interest to me. The one thing my dad never saw the whole movie before, and he just thought it was weird. He doesn't like Malcolm McDowell movies, but he thought the movie was okay, but just weird. And he wouldn't be alone. When Stanley Kubrick passed away, a lot of critics were talking about they liked all his movies except The Clockwork Orange. A lot of critics really hated the movie. Some liked it, some hated it. I thought it was awesome. And a couple of times things, AFI, the American Film Institute, back in 2008, did like their top 10 lists of different genres of movies. And for science fiction, they put Clockwork Orange in at number 4, which is actually, considering how controversial it is, that's a solid number. Now, I still dispute their number one choice being E.T. Now, E.T. is a good movie, but I still think the number one movie they should put for science fiction is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because I think that's a far better Steven Spielberg movie than was science fiction than E.T. was. Move E.T. a little higher up on the list, okay? That's my opinion. Also, music-wise, Stanley Kubrick as bassist Roger Waters of Pink Floyd, of course. He used elements of Adam Hart Mother, and Adam Hart Mother is a very strange album back when they were doing experimental psychedelic stuff, with Sid Barrett and stuff like that. And Waters refused when he found that Stanley Kubrick wanted the freedom to cut up the song and fit it into certain parts of the movie, but usually when someone asks for music for a movie, they edit it into the movie anyways. It's not going to be, they're not going to play the whole song in the movie, usually. But he refused, and so later on down the road, Roger Waters wanted to use sounds from 2001: A Space Odyssey, and Stanley Kubrick refused, so it evened out on that. And also, one other thing I noticed, in the credits, I never really noticed this before, but they had the main credits of the main people, and then they say cast in alphabetical order, and then you see David Prowse, his name in there. I never really noticed that before in any credits. And some people are like, who's David Prowse? He was very famous for playing an iconic character that he never really gets that much credit for. He played Darth Vader in the very first 3 Star Wars movies, because people just hear James Earl Jones' voice because he was an established actor and it's such an iconic, recognizable voice. People just assume James Earl Jones is Darth Vader, but David Prowse played Darth Vader, and he was the bodybuilder in Clockwork Orange that was lifted up Malcolm McDowell when he came, knocking on the door. He was all screwed up by the police. Those 2 policemen, his fellow gang members, tried to drown him and stuff like that. And he was the bodybuilder that had a small role, but I never seen him without his makeup before. And he was also in a Hammer film whenever Hammer was trying to do a little stranger stuff with Frankenstein and Dracula. But they did Frankenstein Created Woman, and then they did Frankenstein the Monster from Hell, where David Prowse had some very strange, he played the monster. He had some very strange Frankenstein makeup, like a cross between a werewolf and a Frankenstein. Really weird and bald and stuff. And Peter Cushing played a very sadistic administrator to this insane asylum, and he was also the Dr. Frankenstein character. And it's strange because later on in his career, Malcolm McDowell in the late 80s, he played a similar role in a movie called Disturbed, where he was a sadistic administrator and then has the tables turned on him. So it all comes around full circle. And these are just a couple of fun facts about the movie Clockwork Orange. If you look up more research on it, you'll find a lot more wonderful stuff about this great controversial movie that some people love and some people hate. But I loved it, and I think it's a great movie. So these have been a couple of fun facts about Clockwork Orange. Until next time, take care, my legion.